There are as many opinions on certain things on fitness YouTube channels as with anything in life. But there do happen to be some hard and fast rules when it comes to training optimally. Some tried and true principles aren't new, but deserve to be revisited. Yes, training has advanced. We have better facilities, are more educated on nutrition and recovery, and have any bit of information at our fingertips. But these lifting mistakes can be universally adopted for any type of lifter no matter the end goal. In this video, we'll not only go over the top 20 mistakes we see, but we'll also address how to go about fixing these mistakes. Let's get started. Number 1, lack of consistency. Schedules, families, school, work, and everything else tend to push and pull us around. As a result, we skip workouts and we never really gain that consistent momentum needed to achieve real progress. This lack of consistency can significantly contribute to your lack of success. You can pre-plan your week to set some solid training sessions. For example, if you normally get caught up with family, work, or other obligations in the afternoon, try scheduling early morning workouts. Or maybe lunchtime is more feasible. Do whatever you need to do to establish consistency. Another great option is picking a workout split that fits your schedule. Number 2, training too much. Now there does come a point where you can overdo it. The Journal of Sports Health studied the effects of overtraining syndrome and how it can impact athletes' performance. They found that excessive exercise without adequate rest resulted in neurologic, endocrinologic, and immunologic problems and mood changes. To work through this mistake, start applying the idea of minimal dose response. That is, determining the least amount of training performed to get the maximum results. For example, you can start with 3 days per week with a rest day in between. Then after a few weeks, evaluate your progress and then, if needed, increase your frequency by 1 day. This will allow you to take full advantage of proper recovery and make significant progress simultaneously. Number 3, not training enough. Another problem could be that you're just not putting in the time at the gym. You may be already past the beginner phase of your training experience so that you can train a bit more often. Each training session will trigger an opportunity for protein synthesis, which will give you more frequent chances for building muscle when supported with proper nutrition. If you're either stuck in your 3 non-consecutive days per week routine or simply miss too many workouts, do what was suggested for training too much. Schedule your workout each week ahead of time and stick to that schedule. To reach your fitness goals, you'll need to train enough to elicit change in your physique. Number 4, lack of intensity. To progressively overload your muscles to trigger growth or gains in strength will take intensity. If you're lacking in this area, you'll need to reevaluate your goals. For example, a study in Physiological Reports investigated the effect of high volume versus high intensity training in stimulating muscle size and strength in trained men. The study concluded that the high intensity group showed greater improvements in strength and hypertrophy. Start by evaluating your progress over the last 6 months or so. Are you progressing at a slow but steady rate? How about intensity? Can you do better? If not, cut back on your total number of sets and apply more force and concentration to that reduced volume. This way, you'll be able to increase intensity without risking overtraining. Number 5, too much intensity. Even though it seems a bit contradictory, attempting to apply too much intensity to every workout can also backfire. Killing it and having the goal of crawling out of the gym every day will soon set you back and create the perfect scenario for injury. Famous strength coach Dan John splits his workouts up into 2 categories. One is called park bench workouts, and the other is bus bench workouts. On a park bench, you're not going anywhere. You're simply feeding the squirrels and watching the birds. So in effect, your park bench workouts have you going to the gym, completing your tasks, and leaving without a super high intensity attitude. Bus benches signify that you're about to go somewhere. For bus bench workouts, you turn up the intensity. You attempt new loads, reps, mess with the rest periods, etc. Most workouts should be on a park bench. Only a few per week should be on a bus bench. It's a smart way to regulate intensity, progress, and rest. Number 6, too much isolation work. Certain isolation moves can be attractive, especially for the new lifter. We often think there are magic exercises. Maybe this one new move will finally get you the results you want, but we all know what we need to do to make progress. Stick to the big, multi-joint compound moves. Exercises that utilize more than one joint, such as the bench press, rows, pull-ups, squats, leg presses, deadlifts, and shoulder presses. There are a ton of variations of each exercise to keep you occupied. Too much isolation won't stimulate your body enough to progress. Number 7, not enough volume. Muscle hypertrophy or muscle growth in size directly correlates to the number of sets you perform during a workout. Of course, as stated before, a goal to aim for is the minimal dose response, but going too low with your number of sets will eventually allow your body to adapt and stop progressing quickly. Make sure you're giving each muscle group its fair shake. For example, don't perform 20 sets for the chest, but only 5 or 6 for the legs. Instead, start each muscle group with a moderate amount and only adjust when needed, not just because you feel the need to fit in every single exercise known to man. Number 8, too much volume. Too much volume is the culprit for many lifters, especially those who favor a specific body part. They pummel their weak joints into submission in hopes of a reaction. If some volume is good, then more is better, right? Nope. Look to research. A meta-analysis published in the Strength and Conditioning Journal examined several volume criteria from numerous research literature. They concluded that 10 or more sets per muscle per week would be a good starting point as to programming volume in with those hypertrophic-oriented goals. More is not always better. Number 9, wasting time. The gym is a great place to meet people. We all tend to be like-minded and enjoy exchanging ideas, spotting each other, and maybe taking up a workout or two together. But when that simple connection turns into a monologue of dribble that takes away from precious training time, something needs to change. Don't be a hermit or recluse refusing to utter a single word hidden under your earbuds, but be friendly and be open to offering help. However, don't do it to the extent that it hinders your progress and focus. If you're caught in the corner of someone talking your head off, simply state that you need to get your next set in before you get too cold, or tell them that you have to finish your workout quickly to get home for something you planned earlier. Number 10, not paying attention to rest periods. One of the biggest missteps most lifters make is ignoring rest periods. They finish a set and they begin to play on their phone, talk to their friends, or just space out. Then they continue their workout when the feeling hits them with no thought going into how long they need to rest regarding their goals. Keep a watch handy or go by the gym clock if you need to keep a good eye on your rest times. Generally speaking, 1 to 2 minutes if you're into hypertrophy style training is best. With strength training, you need more rest, closer to 2 to 4 minutes. Number 11, program hopping. Every day, the latest and greatest program seems to be created, guaranteed to get you to the next level. Some are filled with tricks and tips to propel you to your ideal physique. The problem is that you can quickly find yourself adopting a new program each week. You see a shiny new thing and go for it. The result is you have no results. Getting bigger, leaner, stronger isn't rocket science. There are a lot of great programs out there. Here's what to do. Choose one that looks logical and sound and stick with it for at least 3 months. Any program needs time to take effect, and program hopping will never allow you to test workout routines truly. Number 12, not keeping track. How much progress have you made? Are you stronger than you were a month ago? What about which program works better? Are there certain exercise combinations that have proven not to work for you? Without keeping track of the details of your training, how will you gauge your progress? The best practice would be having a physical journal of your training sessions. Record things such as exercises, sets, reps, weight lifted, rest periods used, and other tangible things like energy level, events that may have impacted your performance, and anything else you may feel was relevant. Keeping track will also give you great insight into whether you're going in the right direction or not, and will enable you to be wiser when adjusting things. Number 13, copying the big guy. Whether we notice it or not, we tend to look at others around us and see if what they're doing would interest us. Maybe it's a new exercise or intensity technique. We like to see what works for others. Many gyms have the big guy who everyone secretly looks up to. They try to do what he does in hopes of looking like him one day. There's so much wrong here. That big guy may have a few advantages over you, from genetics to a good doctor. Don't try to emulate anyone else in the gym. Taking 1 or 2 tips from them is fine, but mimicking their actions, entire workouts, and supplement regimens is a disaster plan. Stick to what works best for you and go from there. Number 14, always attempting PRs. We all want to know where we stand when it comes to strength. Maybe our pursuits are with pure strength training, or perhaps we're testing our strength to determine our 1 rep max, or we just want to know for the heck of it. But if you find yourself integrating PRs throughout your regular workout sessions, then some self-reflection is in order. Don't try to max out at every workout. Save max attempts for specific days. Maybe you test your strength once per month on a designated day after a few days of total recovery, so that you're fresh and ready to give it your best shot. Second, attempting max lifts during your regular training sessions will only detract you from the workout you had planned on doing in the first place. Number 15, going too heavy. You need to lift bigger to get bigger, right? This is never more evident than on the bench press, squat, and deadlift. Unfortunately, too many lifters are bending, heaving, and contorting their bodies to get the weight from point A to point B, attempting to lift more and more weight at any cost. But are they getting results? Are they building real muscle, or are they simply spinning their wheels and risking injury? First and foremost, always practice textbook form. Second, add weight in small increments to make those gains in strength solid. Finally, if building muscle is your goal, it's okay to lighten the load as long as you train to failure. A study from the Journal of Medicine and Science in Sports and Exercise conducted a meta-analysis comparing low, moderate, and high loads. All loads produced similar gains in muscle tissue growth. So if heavy weights aren't doing their trick, try using lighter loads and higher reps taken to failure. It may be just what you need. Number 16, lifting and not training. Ask yourself this. Are you just showing up, going through the motions without much thought put into it? Or maybe you're on autopilot, robotically doing the same things in the same ways repeatedly. You may be lifting, but are you training? We recommend you get into a routine, something that will trigger your motivation and put you into the right mindset. Be conscious of what you're about to do and present with every set and every rep. Look over your journal and see what can be improved, deleted, and modified. That will get your head into the game. Number 17, worrying about how you look. We live in an egocentric society where selfies are the norm. We are constantly worried about our clothes, our hair, and how our behavior looks to others. The gym atmosphere is no stranger to this. Everyone is so self-conscious. Whether you're the one who worries that you'll look silly doing a certain exercise, or the type who wants to impress everyone around you with an epic lift. It's age-old advice, but don't worry about what others think. First and foremost, they don't have your goals in mind. Second, no one cares about your workouts. And third, stop worrying about how you look at that moment and focus on how you'll look in 6 months. Number 18, focusing on ego lifts. Everyone loves to bench press, squat, and deadlift. It's no surprise since you can load up those lifts with a ton of weight and go to town. But what if you're not built for those lifts? What if you have a nagging injury? Or maybe you simply don't like to do them? There's no rule in weight training stating that you need to perform those lifts the traditional way. There are plenty of alternatives. Using dumbbells for bench press, single leg exercises for squats, and a hex bar for deadlifts can give you the right modification without ditching the benefits. Number 19, not listening to your body. We're all guilty of training through pain. Maybe we have a nagging shoulder, a hitch in our knee, or a chronically sore lower back. But it's nothing for us to just suck it up and drive on. That's what it's all about, right? Sucking it up and moving forward. Injuries are no joke, especially the chronic kind. Some nagging hitch in your shoulder could quickly turn into a torn ligament or tendon requiring surgery. But if you're in the fitness game for the long haul, it'll be worth every last effort to practice perfect form. Know when to throttle back the intensity and properly work around injuries. Number 20, training for your goal. Finally, improper training programming is one of the most serious mistakes. So many lifters desire one thing but are training for another without knowing. For example, many want to pack on size and get bigger, but are training as a power lifter, pure strength. Put the ego away and be sure that your training matches your goals. If getting bigger is the goal, increase your rep ranges, take shorter rests, and focus more on recruiting muscle fibers and fatigue. If pure strength is your goal, increase your load, rest longer, and keep a close eye on your numbers. Know what you're training for. Making mistakes is a huge part of life and no one is immune. Hopefully this list will give you some ideas of how to make your training more effective and get you back on track making some real progress. If you found this video helpful, make sure you give this video a thumbs up as it'll truly help out the channel. Are you looking for a complete, done-for-you training and nutrition guide guaranteed to add slabs of muscle to your frame in the next 90 days? Claim your free copy of our book, Bulk Up Fast. The book has already been paid for. All you have to do is cover the small shipping fee. Just click the link in the description, tell us where to ship it, and we'll send it to you anywhere in the world. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe for more videos, and don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss the next one. Peace.